So what would you say if I told you that in the middle of Manhattan, there's an avenue that most people don't even know exists? Pretty far-fetched? I thought so too, until I found it. Let's go there. If you come to the middle of the block on 50th Street between 6th and 7th Avenue, you'll come to Urban Hawker, which is almost like the beginning of 6.5 Avenue. Although not officially a part of it, you can walk through to 51st Street where 6.5 Avenue officially begins. Lots of great foods. I am definitely coming back for some of this Indian food. So right now, recording on the Osmo Pocket 3, 4K 50 frames per second. Basically, everything's in auto. Very popular spot for the lunch crowd in the Midtown area, at least on this side of town. So this is 51st Street, and this is where 6.5 Avenue officially begins. And it's a thoroughfare through the middle of the blocks from 51st up to 57th Street. And it's sheltered from the elements, which I will prove to you right now. And onwards. If you want to get to Rockefeller Center, you can take this escalator right here. And it'll get you there eventually. But that's beyond the scope of today's video. So it's slightly raining, which is actually proving the worth of this particular thoroughfare. And okay, so it's created through, I want to say generosity, but I think that's too strong a word, of the building owners, but probably in exchange for more lenient planning permissions and sky rights and tax breaks. So these are what's known as POPs, privately owned public spaces. They're owned and maintained by each building that we're passing through, but they're open to the public. And it's just a more relaxing walk from basically 50th or 51st up to 57th Street. Now on this next one, as we cross over 53rd Street, most of the left-hand side is taken up by this really nice fancy restaurant called La Grande Boucherie, which looks quite popular. I see they've got oysters and everything inside. They're crowded, people going in. So that's on the left side as we walk north. While on the right-hand side, there are spaces for non-customers of the restaurant to sit and eat whatever food they bring with them to eat. It's okay. Moving on, moving on. Let's see. This through-bar Galleria provides 189 linear feet of seating, and it's owned by the Paramount Group, 1325 Avenue of the Americas. So, as you can see, privately owned. And let's see what this one says. That's the rules of conduct for while you're on the property of 1325 Avenue of the Americas. And they have security standing in a lot of these spaces, or if not, patrolling them. And the spaces are kept clean, like I said. So we just crossed 54th. And as I mentioned before, this runs up to 57th Street. And it's halfway between 6th and 7th Avenues, which is why it's called 6.5 Avenue. I didn't know it existed until last year sometime. I actually happened across somebody else's YouTube video and kind of thought it would be cool. Canines are communicating. Yes, they will. This is 55th. And since it looks kind of cool, I just want to take a quick detour here, dip to the side, and show you New York City Center. And since I'm already here, crossover. A lot of shows in there. I've heard it's nice. Never been there. So I'll have to take everybody's word for that. But for now, okay. So as you can see, public access to 56th Street. We're on 55th right now. Open to the public daily, 8 a.m. to midnight. Almost missed that. So yeah, if you don't like being constantly exposed to the noise of the city or the hustle and bustle of other pedestrians or fighting to cross the streets, this is a good, easy, relaxed way to go from 51st Street on up to 57th. And yeah, it's relatively unknown about. I know for sure my wife didn't know, and her being the original New Yorker, I don't know what that says about her. She may or may not hear that, and I may or may not catch grief because of it. So this is 56th Street. This is our last little stretch of 6.5 Avenue. We're going into Metropolitan Tower, which is 135 West 56th Street. And this one is really fairly nondescript. It's basically the lobby of the building and a thoroughfare. And that's it. No frills. Nice neon lighting. But like I said, nothing special here. We're just walking through to 57th Street, which is the top end of 6.5 Avenue. So, okay, here we go. And we are here. 57th Street, top end of 6.5 Avenue. Well, hope you enjoyed discovering this hidden gem along with me. And thank you for coming along.